Welcome to the 234th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on May 26th, 2021. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show. With me is the man who's back from his quote-unquote sabbatical and currently recuperating on a full course of antibiotics, Carlos Rodella.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
How was Southeast Asia?
I didn't go there, but
really? Well,
I guess
officially you didn't go there.
Yeah. I'm not telling you where I went. I went somewhere undisclosed. Remember?
Undisclosed location. Your black site down in the Badlands of wherever.
I think it was considered the Badlands, so we can say that much on the podcast. Okay. And in these, in quotes, Badlands, I played Mass Effect the whole time.
Oh, nice. So you were in the Badlands in a black site, undisclosed location, but you did have a console.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I had my PS5 and my Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Excellent. We will be talking about that in greater detail very shortly. But before we get to that, first, welcome back. You were missed. It's good to have you back, sir.
Thank you. And thank you to Corey for filling the seat and keeping it warm. And I listened to some of the episode, and it was great.
Excellent. Yes, Corey is a great seat warmer. I'm sure all his friends know that. So
it's a little too warm, though. If I just got to say that, it's like a little uncomfortable warm. So I had to cool it off.
Lift up for a few seconds, it'll kind of dissipate, and you can get back at some more comfortable temperature. Anyway, enough talking about the temperature of Corey's butt. Let's move on and start doing some housekeeping. As we know, we split a house, duct tape down the middle. I actually have a couple things on my side this week, just two things. Carlos, how's your side looking?
It looks medium full.
Medium full. Okay, why don't you go first, and then I'll round it out.
Okay. And by the way, I mean to say this before we get started. I need to say it now. I mean to say it every episode. Whenever you introduce the podcast, you say 2021. Well, in the past, you said 2020, whatever. Yes. 2019. But either way, once you started saying 2020, and then once you started saying 2021, I have not said this since, and I wanted to say it every time, but it is not the future. Because the way you say it, it makes it feel like it's the future, you know?
When I look at that number in the script, it looks like the future, but
I know, and I feel that that's what you're trying to say. And it's so funny because every time I hear it, I'm about to go like, Brad, is it though really? You know, because it doesn't feel like the future.
And yet it is. Here we are living in the future. The future is now the present, and the past is still the past. Yes. When I look at that number,
it just
every time.
There's no flying cars. There's no hoverboards.
I know. No jetpacks.
Okay, I got that off my system. Okay. It just bothered me every time I had to say it.
I feel it because it bothers me every time, dude. It feels weird to say 2021. It feels like I should be like landing in my I should be teleporting in from the Enterprise or something.
Yes.
I should be wearing my I don't know, my alien friend is with me. They're gonna guest on the podcast.
Yeah. Where's Rosie from the Jetsons? You know.
I know. Right?
Oh wait, she's like, you can't do that. I think she's canceled.
Is she? Why is she canceled?
Well, she's kind of like the old school maid. I don't know. I guess people still have maids, right? Is that
maids
bad?
Are still a thing? I mean, I don't know. Is it bad? I don't know. It's a job. Okay. I mean,
all I know is that now when we start the podcast, we should do like doot 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 when you say the date.
We're broadcasting from the future.
2021.
Yeah,
okay.
Weird. Okay. Anyway.
Housekeeping for real.
Go.
I found a video of us that if you want, we can tweet out. I guess I'll just upload it to YouTube, or I think it is uploaded to YouTube already. And it was before I joined the So Video Games podcast, and I called you up on a Skype call. We did video.
We did. I don't remember this. What are we talking about?
Yeah, and here's the thing. We were just catching up. You know what I mean? But you and I can't do that. We just did a show. Like, it was a podcast. And I think I was maybe going to use it for something, but we ended up just doing a So Video Games podcast. So it is episode 0 of our version of the podcast. So we should probably release it.
Interesting. Send me the link. I'll have to look. I do not remember doing this at all.
I know. I don't either. I have 2 YouTube accounts.
Are you sure it's us?
It is. It just looks like us. One guy's named Charles, but it looks like Carlos. But no. It's my other YouTube account. So I have one that's my main one, a lot of things. And then the other one's just like Carlos Rodella. And I had not put anything on that except for some reason used it for us to do a show.
Interesting. Okay, well, send us the link. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes. I got to take a look because I have zero recollection of it.
Yeah. I didn't watch all of it. I got to be honest.
Because it's pretty boring, right?
It's just us, talking. But no, we actually talk about some really cool stuff and some cool game stuff. And I watched the beginning of it, and it seemed like was going to be a good episode. So I'll send you the link. You A-OK it, and if you do, we'll share it with the listeners.
As long as I don't have like spinach in my teeth or something, I'll put it up in the notes, and people who want to see that can see it.
Why would you have had spinach?
I don't know. Why? Maybe I just randomly had spinach that day. I'd be embarrassed if I had spinach in my teeth on a YouTube video.
I think you do have spinach in your teeth.
God damn it.
So we'll release that anyhow. Anyways, the other thing is next State of Play is May 27th, which means the day after we record this, so Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. Yeah, it is
tomorrow for us in the past.
Or yesterday, if you're listening to this on the day the podcast comes out.
Yeah. So, and they are basically what they should have done last time. They're just calling it the Horizon Forbidden West State of Play.
Oh yeah, because people were disappointed they didn't show too much last time, right?
Yeah.
It was too focused.
Last time it was 2 games that they took for like 2 minutes, and then it was just Ratchet and Clank. So, anyways, that's cool. Now that I know it, my expectations are set. I want to know more about Horizon Forbidden West. Cool. Although I still don't like the name of that game. We've never talked about that, have we?
No. What is it you don't like about it?
It doesn't feel right. Say it real quick.
Horizon Forbidden West? I don't know. Ugh. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't grab me. But then again, I'm not the biggest Horizon fan to begin with. So
it doesn't. Yeah, but just as a name in general, it's clunky.
Forbidden is kind of a weird word to put in a title.
It is. That's the word. I think you're right.
Yeah. Anyway.
And by the way, you shouldn't say it's forbidden. You want people to play your game.
We're going to talk about this game, and you do not have access to this game.
Horizon Welcoming West. How about
that? I mean, that's also kind of weird, but maybe slightly better than Forbidden West. So
2 more things. Someone, what did I write down? Oh, someone rebuilt the PS5 to make it smaller. I'll try to find the link and give it to you. We can put it in the show notes. I think it's really cool to see that because they took it apart. They got rid of those kind of, in my opinion now, ridiculous fins.
I hate the way the PS5 looks, dude. Real talk, I hate the way it looks.
I think I'm like, how some people say things grow on you? Mm-hmm. I think it's ungrowing on me.
It grew off of you.
Yeah, it grew off of me because I definitely, it's too bright. Like the lights that are on it are too bright. I don't know why those lights are on. It was like totally dark and I was watching just like a movie on Netflix or something. And the lights on the PS5 are there.
Like staring in the eye when you're watching it, right?
Yeah, just on the distance. So anyways, they rebuilt it. I'll put a link. I'll give it to you and put in the show notes. I think it's really cool because it's much smaller, like crazy smaller.
I mean, it's weird to me that they went so big. And I know that I am not a computer engineer. I'm sure that they had their reasons at the time. But, I mean, it's like inevitable that these consoles are going to get smaller. They're all going to do the next iteration. There's going to be the next Xbox, the next PS5. They're going to be smaller. I mean, I think they should have tried a little harder to get smaller right out of the bat. But
yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird to watch what someone did. Of course, people will come up with an idea and fix something because they're crafty.
Exactly. People are brilliant.
Figure it out. Yeah, they are brilliant. So, anyways, check that out. And then lastly is Chuhai Labs, friend of the show, Kinsey Burke, the developers and publisher, Chuhai Labs, friend of the show as well. They are sending me a code. Full disclosure, as you say, for their new VR snowboarding game.
Is it specifically VR or is it VR capable?
No, I think it's specifically VR.
Specifically VR, okay.
Remember, I think I told you a couple of shows ago, it's made from some of the people who worked on 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that.
And I can handle even movement VR pretty well now. I have Oculus Quest 2, and that's what I'll be playing it on. And the embargo's up on Friday, so when this podcast goes up, the embargo will be up. So that's how I can talk about it a little bit. And hopefully I will be able to talk about it next episode. So cool. I'm going to try it, and it's going to be crazy, and I'm going to probably scream in my apartment, but I'm going to do it.
And which VR platform are you going to be playing that on?
Oh, Oculus Quest 2.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. There's that.
That is my business. Although before I go for my housekeeping, which is pretty much clean, a couple pieces of lint. I heard that you figured out an update in the longing that you could actually set up the character to go do his own thing now.
Oh, yeah. It's funny you bring that up because I was going to mention it to you, but since we're talking about it here. Yeah, we talked about the longing a couple episodes ago, and we were both kind of like, maybe it works better as PC because you could just Alt-Tab out, do something else, and come back when your little character has done his task. For those of you who didn't catch that episode, or maybe you don't know, The Longing is a game where you play a game for 400 real-time days, and you're stuck in this cave, and you have to do these different tasks, but your character walks super slow, like the slowest
Ugh.
character walk I've ever seen in a
Yeah.
game. And everything you do takes time. Like opening a door takes like real time 2 hours. Carving a crystal out of the wall takes like an hour of real time. Like, so it's like you don't want to just sit there and watch it, but you got to get it done. So on PC, you would tell the little dude, hey, go open this door, or hey, go carve this crystal, and I'll come back. And when I come back after doing something else, you'll be done, right? And that function, I swear it wasn't there when the game launched. I really feel like it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really feel like it wasn't. And they've updated the game, I think, at least twice since we talked about it. And the last time I came to it, I opened up the game and I'm like, whoa, he did the thing. And I tested it. And if you tell him to go do something and then just quit out of the game, when you come back, if enough time has passed, he'll have done the thing. So now it works just like it worked on PC.
That's cool. And also, but he can only do one thing, right? You can't like tell him many
No,
things
no,
to do.
yeah. Just one thing at a time. There's no queuing up actions. It's just like you tell him to walk somewhere or tell him to carve something or tell him to do something, but just one thing at a time. So you got to kind
Right.
of check back every so often.
Well, that's still cool though, and I will jump back into my version because I still have it on Steam. And yeah, the game hasn't ended because I started it like late last year, so I have a lot of days to go still.
Oh, man. Well, there's lots to talk about, and there's a lot of secrets in that game. We're not going to spoil it here, but I have been talking to Gaming in the Wild on Twitter. Love his podcast, by the way. Very relaxing, very cool. Great podcast. But we've been chatting about this game because he's playing it also. And there's a lot of secrets that we are kind of like comparing notes. And I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't know you could do that. And then he's like, oh, shit, I didn't know you could do that. And so we're kind of like having this little moment where we're kind of just like vibing together in this game, which is pretty cool. So
Cool.
I found some cool things to the game. I'm still playing it. I still really like it. So yeah, we'll talk about it maybe when it's all said and done.
We'll continue to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, that gives me one quick tangent. I was talking to my buddy Nate, who did Cosmicoria, which is a game we reviewed on this podcast a million years ago. And I was talking to him about my game that I want to make, which I've also mentioned on this podcast before, called Blip. And it sounds very similar to that, where I want my game to. I just love the idea of like setting your character up to do stuff, and then just like checking in on him. Like I love that. I don't think many games do that. You know,
It's not super common. Yeah, not too common.
Yeah, it's almost like a mini sim like game, the one I want to make, and that seems like what parts of the longing does, which is kind of cool. So cool to that. Any other housekeeping for you, sir?
Yeah, I've just got a couple really quick things. First, I'm going to give a shout out to Sadie Flea from Twitter, longtime friend, very close dear friend who has written for Game Critics. And I believe was on the podcast a million years ago, like the Game Critics podcast a couple times, if memory serves. She tweeted this morning something that I had kind of forgotten about. So like when the original Nier came out, everybody's talking about Nier Automata, the new Nier Replicant just came out a couple weeks ago, whatever.
Yep.
Everybody's like on a Nier kick right now. But back in the day, when the original first Nier came out, it was not cool. No one liked it. No one thought it was even good, and it was like the target for the entire industry for like a month or two. People that were like big on YouTube were making fun of it. There were memes about how stupid it was, and everybody was just dogpiling on it at the time. That was very prevalent at that time. And in true Game Critics fashion, we were swimming upstream on that one because all of us really liked it. We really liked Nier a lot. We recognized that it had some issues, it had some problems, a little rough, but we all saw like the goodness on it, and we actually talked about it several times in the podcast. You can even go back to listen to that show if you can find it in the archives, or we wrote about it many times, so we're on record like years ago about this. Anyway, Sadie was one of the core members of that group where we would like constantly talk about Nier, and we would rep it on Twitter, and we would talk to other people about it and try to convince them that it wasn't a pile of dog shit because everybody thought it was a pile of dog shit. So we did a podcast. I believe it was one of our Game of the Year year-end GOTY podcasts or whatever. And we chose Nier, the original Nier, as the underappreciated game of the generation.
Oh, that makes sense.
So we are on record as picking that. And we are so fucking on record that Yoko Taro actually heard the podcast and sent us a tweet and said, hey, Game Critics picked my game as underappreciated. Thank you, Game Critics. Like, he responded to us and heard it before anybody knew who he was, right? And now he's like famous. He wears the mask and stuff. So it was surprising because I'd kind of forgotten a lot of this. But Sadie was like, oh, here's the tweet. Here's Yoko Taro responding to us. And remember when we did the podcast? I'm like, fuck, we did. We were so right. And she said, hey, we were right. Everybody else who likes Nier now, You all came to the party way late because we were on this way back in the day. Not to be like a hipster or anything, but to
No,
be
no.
perfectly honest, I took so much shit. We all took so much shit for stepping up for this game. Like we said, it was good. We said it was the story was great, the ideas were great, and we were like the laughing stock, dude. I remember we took so much heat from everybody. Everybody thought we were idiots.
They threw
And
vegetables at you and stuff and
exactly, the
fruit.
rotten
Yeah.
tomatoes, the
Yeah.
cabbage leaf, and all that shit. Now, fast forward a couple years, everybody's like, "Nier's the greatest. Nier's great. I love Nier. Oh, the soundtrack's so great. Writing's so great. Blah blah blah.
They all
Best game
sound
I've
like
ever
that
fucking
too.
played."
They sound just like that.
Literally just like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, not to say I told you so, but yeah, totally fucking told you so. We're on record as saying so, and Yoko Taro even fucking knew we said it, and he was glad we fucking said it. So I just want to like roll around in that for a little bit
Do
because
it.
it was so shitty back then. Getting those hate tweets, getting hate mail, it was awful. But now we are vindicated. So Sadie, thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm glad that somebody remembered, and I'll have to go dig that stuff out at some point. But anyway,
Yeah, have your "I told you so" moment. I mean, we don't get to have them much. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
So
right?
revel in it.
Totally, totally fucking told y'all so.
I just saw you
Absolutely.
rolling around when you said "totally." Totally
Yes,
roll.
I am literally physically
Totally
rolling
rolling.
around it, and I'm reveling in this because it's a moment of sublime vindication.
Yeah,
so I'm
nice.
gonna take this moment.
All right. Are you finished? Roll.
I might talk about it for 20 more fucking minutes. 'cause
Well,
it
you're
feels
still
so good.
rolling on the ground. I can't even. I virtually am picturing you still rolling
I'm
around.
still rolling.
Can you get up, or can we do the
No,
podcast?
no, I'm too deep in the ecstasy right now.
I guess
can't
I'll
get
start. Okay, hey, the first game is.
Anyway, thank you, Sadie. I really appreciate it. And boy, it feels good to be on the right side of history with that one. Okay, moving on. Just one more thing. Quick shout out to good man Thief of Hearts, another longtime friend, longtime Game Critics reader. Great guy. I love Thief. He sent me a DM a while ago, and he's like, "Hey man, I know you like Galaxy Rangers, and there is a T-shirt that I think you should have." And he sent me the link, and I checked it out, and I'm like, "God damn it, you are correct. I must have this T-shirt." Bought the T-shirt, literally wearing it right now. So I wanted to say shout out to Thief because I never would have seen this shirt if he hadn't given me the tip on it. And I love the Galaxy Rangers. Are you familiar with Galaxy Rangers?
Yes, we played it. We talked about it on the show. I can't remember anymore.
We must have talked about it in the show. It's like
We
from
did.
the 80s, a cartoon with a bunch of techno cowboys in outer space. It
Yeah,
has one of the
yeah,
most
yeah.
badass intro sequences of like all time. Like the music is just fucking rocks, and it's all gets you super pumped for every episode. Like so good. I love the Galaxy Rangers. Anyway, shout out to Thief. Thank you very much, sir. Wearing this shirt with pride, and I'm very glad you sent me that link. So props. And that is all I have to report for housekeeping right now. Nothing else
Cool.
on your side?
No,
You're
that's
good?
it. We're clean. Let's go to games.
All right, let's go into games. In a surprise move, I'm going to go first this time because I have a couple of quickies that I want to just like get off the plate real quick here. So first off, a game called Crossroads Inn just came out for Xbox. It's been on PC for quite a while. Has a pretty good fan base. A lot of people really like it. Basically, it is an inn simulator. You are some kid. You're taking over like an inn, like an old, medieval serving ale, flagons of ale or whatever. People are riding horses outside. And so you start the game with your uncle. He's the old innkeeper. He's getting you to be the new innkeeper. And you like, it's one of those little sims, kind of top down sim where you like rearrange the walls of your inn and you can place little chairs where you want them to be. And then you kind of like, what do you want to serve and how many people, like, you just kind of like manage the thing, right? So I was really actually excited about this. And started up on Xbox, got through the tutorial. I'm like, yes, this is cool. This is nice and chill. This is something I want to play right now. Unfortunately, pretty buggy. I could not get through the tutorial because a glitch happened and I couldn't finish the game. I couldn't even finish the step one of the tutorial. Unfortunate, but the developers know about it. They're working on it. So I will come back to it. I was really bummed, man, because I was really in the mood for this. Like I was like, this is what I want to be playing right now. So that was, kind of the suck. But it looks really cute. I'm very much looking forward to them getting patched up. But unfortunately, I cannot recommend anybody buy it right now. Maybe give it like a couple weeks, maybe a month, come back to it. I'm sure it'll be in better shape.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially because when you get like a little bit hyped and you're like, this is what I want the experience to have right now. I want this experience, and now I can't have the experience because of bugs. Oh, okay.
I was so bummed, dude. It was so bummed. Anyway, I'm definitely gonna play that some more. Really liked what I saw. They just need to patch it up a little bit. Next game is called Rise of the Slime. This is a turn-based roguelike 2D deck builder on the Switch. I believe it's also on PC. I think it's probably on everything right now. It is, seems like my jam, right? Turn-based, deck builder, roguelike. Those are all things that Brad likes, and I started playing this. basically you're like a little slime. I don't know why you're a slime. I mean, you just are like a blue circular, kind of like a Dragon Quest sort of a style slime.
Yeah.
And but you're not a slime because you're a drawing of a slime that is on a stick. So it looks
What?
like a puppet show, sort of.
Oh, a
You know, like
puppet
if you're looking
slime.
at a puppet show and then somebody holds up a stick and it's got like a puppet stuck to the stick and they're kind
Yeah.
of, you know
Okay.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're a drawing of a slime that is on a stick. So you're not an actual slime, but you are resembling a slime. I don't know why they did this. It's a weird choice. And every enemy you fight is like a drawing of an enemy that's on a piece of paper that's stuck to a stick that's kind of on a stage, sort of.
It
So
reminds me
just
of like that cloud game again. These like what's the cloud game I just played?
Rain on My Parade or something
Yeah,
like
or
that.
something like that. And it's like the cloud is like a cardboard almost looking and like hanging from strings. It's
Hmm.
like a certain style then, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's weird to me because you don't need to do that, and I'm not sure how
You
it relates.
don't need to do that.
You really don't need the strings and the sticks.
Yeah.
Games can work without strings and sticks. I don't know why they chose to do that. Anyway, that's the visual style. And I got into it, and like you would think this is like 100% my jam, but like I noped out of it pretty quickly, and I'll tell you why. The turns are real slow, and so like you start playing the game, you've got a sword and a shield, and in a strange move, this game has movement cards in it. Very unusual for a game of this kind. Like you don't see movement cards very often. And so what that means is if you're on the left side, enemies on the right side, you use a movement card, you can either get close enough to him because there is distance, like you can't hit somebody with a sword when you're on the opposite side of the screen, or you can even get behind them if you have enough movement points and do like a backstab if you can get far enough away behind them. Kind of a cool idea, I guess. But what it boiled down to was the enemies would constantly run away from me, and I'd be just chasing them, catch up to them, do one sword swipe, they would run away further. I'd have to like chase them again, catch up, do one sword swipe, they'd run away further. I'm like, this sucks because all I'm doing it's like it's dragging out the battle to this ridiculous degree.
Yeah.
We should just be standing and fighting, but instead I'm just chasing, and chipping them down. Enemies have too much life, and I feel like the battles were taking a really long time, and it just wasn't exciting. Like in a game like this, something like Slay the Spire or whatever, you're just like bam, 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 getting through battle, get through battle, get through battle, get through cards. Like it's going pretty fast, and that kind of keeps the pace up, right? Get new cards, get new cards, get new attacks. Like it's all very high paced, even though it's a card game, and even though it's turn based, it still moves quickly. This game felt like it was moving so slow, and like it took me, I think, God, I want to say it was like 15 minutes or something to get through two battles, and I'm like, oh, this is too slow. I can't. I'm dying from the pace here. This is not happening.
Yeah.
Especially with the enemies running away. It was so irritating. So I noped out. I think I played it for maybe like half an hour, maybe an hour, and it was. There's a couple kind of crucial mistakes going on here that I think they need to address. If they address those, I think it might be actually a pretty cool game. But as it is, I had to nope out. So
Maybe
there
if
you
the
go.
slime jumped off the stick, he would have moved faster and he caught up to them.
I saw something, man. I don't know, dude. I just like it is the worst enemy design when the enemy just runs away from you because it's just stupid. It's just a waste.
Yeah,
Of
what games
everybody's
do
time.
that? I'm trying to think of like turn-based games do it when like you aggro somebody, but then they get afraid, like they're gonna lose. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes the enemy will move away, but very rare does that happen. I think what you're describing.
It's a really questionable choice because it just ends up irritating the player and it causes problems. I think that's why most AI just comes towards you because you want to have the action happening. You want the player to be in the action. You don't want the player to just be running away. And especially if you're going to make them run away, they have to run slower than you because you have to catch them, right? Like if you can't catch them, you're never going to beat the game, right? You're never going to catch the enemies. You got to catch up to them, so they can't run away too much or too far. And I feel like in this game, they've made that mistake, and so it's kind of unpleasant to play. So anyway,
right.
Rise of the Slime. I might check into it if they fix it. Otherwise, I'm noped out forever.
By the way, real quick, we
Yeah.
should have an episode where you're just checking in on all the games that you go back to because I know behind the scenes that you do, and you know you have rapport and talk with developers, and you talk with them more than I ever would when it comes to like updates and stuff like that and patches. So yeah, it might be fun to just do a whole episode of like games we're checking back in on.
Yeah, that is very true. And if anybody's curious about that, I don't always talk about it on the show because it would kind of get boring for me to talk about the same 5 games every show. But if you do want to know what I'm up to in that respect, you can always go to Game Critics, and I do once a month put out a feature called Every Game I Played in X whatever year. So like last year it was Every Game I Played in 2020.
Right.
This year is Every Game I Played in 2021. I go month by month. At the end of the month, I put out a wrap up And I tell you literally everything I played, literally everything. So it'll show you like what I went back to. It'll show you what I started and didn't finish. It'll show you stuff that I just didn't think was worth bringing to the show, et cetera, et cetera. So if anybody wants that real deep dive on my playing habits, you can go to there and find out.
It's almost like I planned that segue for you to promote that section that you do.
You almost did, but you didn't, and I didn't know it was coming, but we did it because we're just professionals like that.
And we are.
We are. Last one that I want to just name check really quickly.
Oh, you snuck another one in. You are so sneaky. We
really
talk about
quickly.
Real talk for everybody listening. Behind the scenes, we always talk right before the show, and then Brad says, I got a few games. And then as we're doing it, he's like, all right, and then just one more. And then just one more. And this one I'll just talk about real quick.
You got to work them in. You got to work. People want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
People want to know. And I want to know what this next one is. You snuck in.
It's called Wanna Survive. It is coming out. I'm playing on the Switch right now. I believe it's also on PC. It is a top-down 16-bit turn-based survival game. It is not a roguelike. It is a structured campaign.
What?
I know, right? It's weird. Weird that I'm playing it. You are in a zombie apocalypse. You start off with, I think, like 1 or 2 characters. And each character in your party can perma-die. So you have to be very careful if you don't want them to die. If they do die, you can just keep going. But it is, of course, harder because you have fewer people as the game goes on. Each section is like a gas station, or the next section is like a motel or something. And there are little branches in the path, and so depending on where you want to go, you can meet different people or not meet different people. And in addition to like just surviving the battles with the zombies in 16-bit turn-based fashion, like strategic, kind of strategic, you also have to like manage your food. So like you don't always have a bunch of food. You might go to a gas station and get like 3 or 4 cans of food so you can feed your people. If you go to, I don't know, parking lot, there's not much food there, and so you can start the battle, but at the end of the battle your people are hungry, and they can die of hunger as well. So you're kind of managing fighting the zombies. You're also managing how much food do you have, and if you have limited amount of food, who should get the food. Some people have more health than others, so maybe those people can go hungry for a day. You got to feed the people who are weaker. But if they're weaker, are they going to really contribute to the battle? Is it really worth giving them the food? Should you give the food to your stronger person? Who knows, right? Like it's a total Walking Dead sort of situation. I think it's pretty cool. The graphics are pretty cool. The battles end up being fairly puzzly, where you have to really think about your moves very carefully. Each character has their own tendencies, right? So like your main guy is like the axe guy. He can kill any zombie in one-on-one melee, but he's only got 1 move, right? So that's all he's got. He doesn't have any ranged. The guy who's got a shotgun can take out 2-3 zombies at a time, but he can't shoot if the zombie's on him, so he can't get out of trouble if somebody grabs him. There's like a little girl who can attack like diagonals, and there's like an old guy who can shoot super far away. He's like a sniper, but he can't attack anybody near him because his eyesight is so bad. So you kind of like have to balance out everybody's abilities. Really think very carefully about what you're doing. And I gotta say, I feel like this game, I'm playing it still. I haven't finished it. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. I really like it a lot, but I do feel like it's maybe 1 notch too hard, because some of these later levels, I mean, I got to this one level at the cabin, this cabin out in the woods. I thought it was going to be easy. It ended up being hard. I think I probably did that level like maybe like 18 or 20 times. And that's too many times, right? It's too many times. It's too many times. So I feel like if they would just take their foot off the throttle a little bit, I would like happily recommend this to anybody. I think it's really fun. It's a great fit for the Switch. Looks cute. I love the 16-bit style. I love strategy games. Love zombies. So it's all like in my basket. But it is kind of fucking brutal. So you got to be ready for that real stiff challenge. But overall, I like it. I'm going to do my best to finish it. And I think it's pretty good. So shout out that it exists.
What's it called again?
Wanna, W-A-N-N-A, Wanna Survive.
Wanna Survive. Okay.
And I'm playing it on the Switch.
A couple of things. One, did you lose any people so far?
Every time I lose somebody, I start over, because I will not. I cannot play a game where I lose somebody. My brain does not accept that.
Do you do that same thing with what's the other game that's famous for that?
XCOM?
Not XCOM. The other one with the heroes, fantasy one.
Oh, you're thinking of. I know what you're talking about. It's the Nintendo one.
Yep, and it's just
Fire
Emblem. Yeah, that we just at the same time.
Yes, I didn't lose anybody in Fire Emblem either. I would just restart. I can't handle losing anybody, man.
It's funny because then they put that mechanic in for what reason? You know, like. Yeah. If everybody does that, then they really don't ever lose anybody. So then what's the point of doing it?
They've given you the option to turn it off in recent games because they realize people just do that. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, I think most people do not do the permadeath and keep going when they lose their favorite character. That's a shit feeling, dude. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it's
no, it doesn't feel
know,
good, especially when you
yeah.
spend time, working on whatever armor upgrades or whatever for them. But to that point, Want to Survive is interesting because two things. One, I looked up survival games on the Switch, and there's one that I guess we missed somehow called Dismantle. Did you play it?
Dismantle. I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
That's on
So
the Switch.
it's on the Switch. It says a survival game, and it says an action RPG with an open world. Although everybody and their mother says that now, so I can't take that with a grain of salt. But it does look interesting. It looks top-down view. It looks like The Sims a little bit with survivally, and we should check it out. I don't know.
Oh wait a minute. Is it DYS?
Yes.
Okay. Why do I not know about this? I feel like I know about every single game on the Switch.
Here's
How
a
do I not know
problem
about
for
this?
you though. It's made by 10 Tons, and I don't think you like them.
I like some of their stuff.
They made
50-50
Tesla and
on that.
Lovecraft, which I liked a lot.
I did not like, but I did love Judge, which was amazing.
And yeah, they made Judge. You're right. Okay, so anyways, this is just a fun tangent that I found while you were talking about that because
Oh, okay. So it's early access right now. So it's not fully out on Switch yet, is it?
it says release date Switch September. Oh, September. Okay.
That's why I didn't know about it. Okay.
All right.
It does
well,
look great though.
It's
It
on
does
our
look
radar
good.
now. It does look really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
good pick. I'd be into this. I'm into this. All right, on my radar.
Well, here's another. I have a game that we can talk about that's also about surviving.
You do.
It's the game. It's my first game, right?
It's your first game. Tell us, Carlos. How does this game relate to survival?
Sorry, I don't know. That was a bad transition. I'm a little rusty. It's my first show back.
You're back from vacation. It's fine. We'll get in there.
So I'm brushing off the what's it called? The rust.
The rust. I believe you're going to be talking about the brand new game called Just Die Already, which kind of is the opposite of survival.
Right.
Coming to us from the same people who made Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Is that Coffee Stain Studios? Is that right?
Well, I looked up the developer and it was a different name, so it just says some of the designers from Goat Simulator.
Oh,
so I don't
maybe
think
it's not the exact same team.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's a different developer now, but some of the same people who worked on Goat Simulator. So, and I think that's apparent when you get to my review. You'll see.
Okay, so Just Die Already. I know a little bit about this. My son is a huge Goat Simulator fan. He bought this the day it came out on Xbox. I watched him a little bit, and he roped me into doing co-op with him, and he did his whole, Dad, please, Dad, please play with that. And I'm like, dude, this isn't my kind of game. You know I don't like these kind of games. Dad. Okay, fine. And then I played. So I know a little bit about it, but Carlos, I'm going to need you to do the heavy lifting here.
Yeah, it's fine. I mainly bought it because I saw a lot of the trailers. The trailers are great. It does a really good trailer. It's basically the concept is you're an old person, and at some point you're going to die. Because guess what? Newsflash, kids. Everybody dies.
Mortality, hate to break it to you.
Mortality is a thing. And also that means, do what you can while you're here. And so, you're an older person. You could pick between two guys or two girls, or I should say two older gentlemen and two older ladies. And basically you go through this open world, in quotes, open world, openish world. And, you can die in various ways. And the idea is you have a little bucket list. And that bucket list, you want to try to see as many things you can do on that bucket list, which are jump off a really tall building and land and die, or get eaten by a shark, or, whatever you can think of. And why I was originally excited about it in the trailers that were really good is because I was like, this is YouTube video gold for me. I'll make so many fun sketches out of this and some GIFs.
Because there's weird, you can do ragdoll animation and weird
There's
stuff.
There's ragdoll
happens.
animation. Think Goat Simulator, like we said. Old person floating around the air. Just half of their head off or something. Craziness, a little gory. And I was so excited. So that's why I was so excited. And now I'm not excited anymore. Because in general, it just gets old really fast. Like what I just told you. I told you the whole game. There's nothing else that changes. There's some interesting mechanics that happen where you can pick up different objects and you can ride different vehicles, but everything feels clunky. And yes, I know Goat Simulator was clunky as shit on purpose, but this is almost like it's too in between. And I think you'll feel me on this one. It's like it's trying to be a GTA open worldy moment and feel where you move a character around a world that actually has cars going and people and NPCs and stuff. But then you can't control it well enough. But it's not like full on Octodad, but it's not full on Goat Simulator, and it's not full on GTA. It's like in the between. But then that sucks because at some point you can upgrade. You get your upgrades, and you go to vending machines and you get like a sword, or something. and you can swing that around with your arm, but it's like it's really difficult to swing it, right? And you meet some bad guys in quotes, and they're gonna like fuck you up every time you see them. And I could never hurt them, like I could never hurt them with this katana that I got because it was just too hard to do it. So I think in general, why, and I'll talk a little bit more about some of the mechanics, but I just got bored quickly because as soon as you start the game, it feels like you've seen everything already. Even though there's so many different ways to die, none of them feel fresh and new after a while. It just feels like your character gets his arms and legs cut off. For some reason, that happens way too easy, by the way. Do you notice that?
Oh,
Yeah,
like, dude. I mean,
you walk forward, and it's like, oh, you lost your leg, buddy.
You are way underselling how bloody and gory this game is. It's like stupid, and it's not like serious because I wouldn't let my son play it if it was like serious.
No, it's like, cartoony. It's cartoony.
Yeah, like your arms and get cut off, and your spine pops out, and your head gets cut off, and you're walking, and sometimes just like hips and legs, and you're walking, and blood's all over the place. And I'm like, why is this game so fucking bloody? Like, I don't understand why they do that. It doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't. It seems like it's almost from a different game. Like, I don't understand why you fall apart in chunks. Like, I was playing with him, and I was like a leg, and I was like dragging myself down the street, and I'm like, why am I a leg? It doesn't make any sense. I don't like. What is the premise of this game? I don't understand it.
That's exactly it. Like, and I'll flesh that out a little bit more in detail here because one of the core things I had a problem with what you just said is that when you die, it's called just die already. Very ironic, isn't it? That when you die, in quotes, like losing a head, don't have any arms left, you're just a torso. You don't die. You still, like you said, control the character. And to what end? Like, where
I don't understand.
Yeah, so do I. I don't understand either. So I think that goes against the premise. I think if there was a slow motion kill at the end, right? Like, okay, the shark took my arm off, and I'm slow motion dying, and I fall in the water, and then I have to respawn. But no, you still can walk around, which of course I never did because as soon as I, in quotes, ate shit, I would just respawn. So that's what you can do in the game. You respawn whenever you want to. And essentially you're just, there's no consequences in this game. You're just going to try to die different ways and funny ways. So the other problem with the no consequences in this game that I didn't like is that you can, in quotes, kill other NPCs in this world, but none of them stay dead. They immediately come back to life. Like literally, I cut up this person, sounds terrible, in a hot dog vendor store or whatever because I wanted my hot dogs. And I got him out of there and he's, dead. And I meet my hot dogs and who comes through the front door?
Same
the
guy.
Hot dog vendor. I mean, literally 28 seconds later, and I was like, well, then what am I even playing it for? Because not to be long-winded about it, but I really was excited to be in an open world with an old person running around causing mayhem. I can do more mayhem and more fun in like a skate game or a GTA game because there's stakes, right? Like people can die and they don't come back to life immediately. It just felt like such an in-between game. Why is the thing that you said there where you animate body moving around? Why do the NPCs come back to life immediately? Why is it cartoony but also gross? That's some of my premise on what I didn't like about it. Like, it's just a frustrating experience to me.
I mean, I agree with like yes and to literally like everything you said because my son put tons of time into Goat Simulator, right? That game is not for me because I don't like screw around games. But I could see what it was doing, right? Like it was goofy, a lot of really absurd stuff with the goat, like rockets, and the DLC was like ridiculous, like it was in outer space, and there was like all sorts of like crazy stuff happening. There was like a fantasy part to it, and they did so many interesting things where there was many layers to it. Yeah, on the surface, Goat Simulator was a fuck around game where you were just looking at goofy physics stuff, but there was also like secrets to discover and these achievements to do. And when you did these things, this unlocked little mods, and the mods could change your goat, and then the goat would do different things. And so it was kind of like this exploration of the physics, exploration of the world, exploration of what the limits of the game were. Not my jam, but like watching my son go through it over the course of several months, I was actually very impressed with how much was in that game and how intricate it was, how many jokes they managed to work into it. And it was pretty interesting. He starts playing Just Die already, and I mean, he played Goat Simulator every day for months, like literally months, dude. I think he did basically everything in that game. He's already done with Just Die already. He only played it for like
snap.
less than 2 days, I think, and he put on the shelf, virtual shelf, because it's like you said, like it you don't understand like what the premise is. There's a bucket list of stuff to do, which is kind of like what Goat Simulator was, but it just does. It's not nearly as funny. It's not as interesting. The physics aren't as crazy. It's super bloody for like some random reason, and there's no advantage to like being a body part. You just fall apart because I don't know what, because you laugh at it the first 2 or 3 times, and then it's like, okay, well, whatever. I'm just gonna respawn because walking around without an arm sucks. The
Yeah.
combat is really janky, and not in a good janky way. Like it's just a bad janky way. It doesn't
Right.
feel good.
I think
Yeah.
that's an important point because Goat Simulator was janky, but there was fun to be had there.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun. You could screw around and you could basically do what you wanted, and if something funny happened, it was fine. This is like frustrating janky. Like it doesn't feel funny. And I mean, I played it with him. I got bored of it like in 15 minutes, dude. I was ready to move on. And like I said, he got done in like a day or two, and he hasn't been back to it since, which says a lot because he is right in the pocket of something like this. So I just think it's not focused. It's not interesting enough. It's not different enough, and it's not really good at what it does. I think they had a good idea of like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if old people? Yes, but like you got to keep going. Like I just don't think there's enough to it.
Yeah, the only time I really had fun, which is crazy to say, but is in the very beginning, the kind of mini tutorial. You have to wreck a birthday party before you can leave the house.
Yeah,
And that was kind of fun. I was like, you can pee in this game too. So I like peed on the cake and I was
yeah,
like, smashing stuff up and the old people were running around crazy and the lady's like, you got to go. And I'm like, that's pretty fun. Like if there were more little scenes like that, I think I would have
yeah,
had a better time. But also I think it comes back to what we said in the beginning that it's not the same developer. I'm pretty sure. And so, you have designers who made something, sometimes it's I don't want to say one hit wonder, but you get lightning in a bottle, right?
yeah,
And Goat
yeah.
Simulator was lightning in a bottle. Also,
For sure.
I will say it's a goat, right? Like there's
That's
something
already funny from the get
yeah,
go. Yeah,
there's something inherently funny be like it's an animal that's running around crazy. And this one you're like, "Oh, is it like is it a GTA person? Oh, it's not really though,
I
And
mean, look at that on a smaller scale, right? Because the title of it, Goat Simulator. Now, before I ever saw this game, like when I was first hearing about this game, I legitimately thought it was going to be like realistic. And then when I saw the game for the first time,
it's
it's
so
funny
not.
because you're like, oh, dude, okay, this is
Yeah.
like the furthest thing away from a simulator you could possibly be. So like you're starting with a joke that's landing, right? Because in no way is this a simulator. Like it's ridiculous, and you're constantly having that like dichotomy in your head. That works, like that, like you said, that's lightning in a bottle. That's great, but just die already. I'm not dying because I'm a bloody stump and my spine is walking down the street. But so what? Like, what is the point of that? I don't get it. Like, it's not a joke in the same way. It doesn't seem to have any gameplay implications. You respawn with a hit of a button, so it's no penalties to it. What's the point of it?
Yeah. That's very good. Yeah, I think that we did our a good explanation of that. And again, someone might find fun out of that, just running around, jumping around. I just think that it's misplaced. And one of the last thing I'll say is those cars that drive around.
Yeah,
I don't get. I believe me. I try to mess with them so much because there's cars that drive around this map and they're indestructible and they don't stop and they continually just go like in a circle, almost like toy cars or something. And they're haphazard and driving all up and down the street and crashing into each other and stuff. But I just kept like putting things in the road to see if I could stop them. And I did crash one. I found one that I put a steamroller in the middle of the road or something and it hit it, and the car flew up into a building. And I felt very accomplished. I was like, now, see, I found some fun.
but
Like
you
I
had to work pretty hard to find that. Fun.
yeah, I made my own fun by like, this thing seems like it shouldn't be able to stop because it's on these rails. So I'm going to try to stop it with a steamroller. And it went up into the building and now it's stuck in a window. I was like, Carlos made fun. But it wasn't the fun from the game. So that's
All
enough.
right. So just die already. It's already died at my house, so it did
Yeah,
die,
it died
and
at
it sounds
my
like
house,
it died
too.
for you too. So.
Yeah.
All right, so the next game up we're going to be talking about is it's weird to me because I've known about this game for a long time. I always thought it was going to be kind of like a double A, flying under the radar sort of a thing, but it launched and then all of a sudden like everybody in the world is talking about it, which kind of caught me by surprise because I didn't think it was on many people's radars. I didn't think a lot of people were going to care. We're
Hmm.
talking about Biomutant, which just came out a couple days ago, and unfortunately it launched with a little bit of a controversy. Did you see all that stuff happening on Twitter when this game launched, Carlos?
Wait, I know some things about negative reviews, but I don't know about controversy.
That was the controversy, basically.
Oh,
So Biomutant came out. I'm going to let you talk all about it, but just to set the stage a little bit,
yeah.
Biomutant came out, and a bunch of people reviewed it. We actually have a review which is going up later today. By the time you're hearing this podcast, that review will be up. So feel free to check it out for yourself. Dan Weissenberger covered it for us. But there's like a span of reviews. Some people thought it was great. Some people thought it was maybe less than great. And the the publisher, THQ Nordic, put out a tweet which kind of suggested that they were like, anybody who doesn't like this game maybe doesn't know what they're doing. And they didn't say that specifically, but that was like the connotation. They had a gif of a guy who was like making this face of like, you don't know what you're talking about. And they were putting up reviews that, basically saying, if you don't like this, like, we question your review. And they came back afterwards and said, oh, that's not what we meant. But I think basically everybody who saw the tweet took it to mean that. So maybe their PR manager was doing a terrible job. Their community manager was not on point. But I mean, it set off a firestorm, because it's like, if a publisher is going to start calling out people for not liking their game, that sets up like a really hostile environment. In addition to triggering anybody who like is a THQ loyalist to go and attack the writer or attack that site for putting out a bad review, which already happens enough as it is. We don't need the publisher like sicking people on us if we don't like a game. So that started off Biomutant really poorly. I think a lot of people immediately got a bad taste in their mouth, at least as far as the publisher goes. But that's what happened yesterday. We are here today. You are playing it yourself. Did you finish it?
No. I'm pretty far in. I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time with it. But
okay, so let's put the controversy aside, Carlos.
Yeah.
Let's actually just talk about the game itself. I played a little bit of it, but you are going to be the expert here. So talk to us about Biomutant.
I want to talk about the game, but I'm wondering if I want to talk about the review thing after or before, because I do have a tangent off of what you just said.
Do it now, since we're on the topic.
Okay. So I didn't see that controversy. What's interesting is when controversy, in quotes, happens on the internet, not everybody sees it. So just a kind of PSA or something like that. I don't think it always like affects a game like people think, and even like that we say on this podcast sometimes, because not everybody's watching every tweet or
sure.
And like literally me, I don't leave the internet, but I didn't see that whole thing that go down. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. I don't know if it like always affects everybody, but the things that I did see, which were a bunch of negative reviews coming in. I want to do a quick tangent on it, because first off, I've been following this game for a very long time. I don't know, 3-4 years at least, and very excited about it. I like the idea. It's unique. I mean, it's so hard to like get a interesting, unique take on an action RPG. So you're like these little creatures. It's a totally different kind of thing, with mixture of things you've seen before. So I was always excited about it. But some of the negative reviews, a great YouTuber, I think it's called DPJ. That's all I know the YouTube name as. He was talking about in his review where, negative reviews on YouTube in general get more views. Like it's just a terrible thing that's going on right now. This kind of, in general, on the internet, like hate sells and all that kind of stuff. Divisiveness?
Yeah, divisiveness, sure.
Yeah. So without going too far down that rabbit hole, it is true, and it's just kind of annoying. And I'm making a comedy sketch just about that, which is how this is so perfect timing. Because I think it's just ridiculous that, lots of YouTubers make negative videos just because they want to be part of this like cycle, this hate cycle. And it's really fun, and they get a lot of views, and they feel, I don't know, good about themselves. If you didn't really like this game, that's fine. But to put out stuff that like, this is a waste of time, this, they should have never made it, all the kind of just really awful stuff I saw, it's just ridiculous. So
I basically agree with you, but how do you know that's not their real opinion?
It can be. It's just, the point is that when you make blatant statements about how, if it's like got bugs or if it crashes, these are technical things that you need to know about. But if it's like just not your jam, like we say on the show all the time,
sure.
Then to kind of blanket statement to be like, this is, bad across the board. Like just not even like, I don't like it, but it's like, you shouldn't like it. And I feel like it's a fine line, yes, about like, what is your opinion and what is your like hateful opinion to like destroy the game. Because sure. I'm telling you, there's a lot of shows I watch where they just, the first thing they do is it's negative. Right? It just feels like, even like with Cyberpunk, I watch YouTubers going off on the updates that they were making. The connotation in their voice, as soon as they start, they're like, all right, guys, we're back with another update from CD Projekt Red. I guess some of you guys might like this, but I don't know. They're trying to work back from their, disastrous release. It's like they start with the negative. So I'll give it a rest. People are like, get off your soapbox. But I did see a lot of negative reviews that didn't feel like they were fully like about the game even somehow. They're just like, I'm just mad at this thing that's not what I wanted it to be. So let me tell you what it is.
Let's hear about what it is. What is Biomutant,
The most
Carlos?
long-winded intro ever. So this game is, and if you hear the sentence, you're either in or out, and this is a true review because this is objective. It's Ratchet and Clank.
That's not objective.
It is objective. This statement is.
No, it's
no.
not
The
objective.
statement is. Watch this one statement. Then the review won't be objective.
Okay, go ahead.
This is an objective statement. It's Ratchet and Clank meets Horizon Zero Dawn meets Fallout meets an action RPG with a lot of crafting. That's objectively what the game is. Now, my point is, you're laughing, but listen, this is doing a service to our listeners. If you like those things, you will like this game. There's a really good chance you will. But a lot of people went into it, I think, thinking it was something else.
You left out one element. All of those things, I say Fable. This game reminds me a lot of Fable.
I see that. Yeah, I see Fable
absolutely.
too. Okay. So all those things, right? Because there's a light and dark side, the
narrator,
like
kind of
you're
the
right.
whole tone of the thing, yeah.
But so I'm saying, like, that paints such a different picture, and I think that people thought of it as some other type of thing. So that's what this game is, in my opinion. And you play as a furry little creature, which I mentioned, that you can, pick different types of styles, whether you want to be a warrior, tank class, shooter, all that kind of stuff. This game has really fun combat, in my opinion. You have shooting and you have melee. You know me. I went hard on the melee.
Melee, it's what you do, sure.
I didn't do two-handed, though, because they have a really great class that if you pre-ordered it, you got the mercenary class, and that is dual-wielding melee weapons. And that is super fucking fun to play. So that's who I am, a mercenary character. All my points are in strength and melee and health. And you are a little furry creature that is in the apocalypse. So the apocalypse already happened. Earth is kind of like, again, Horizon Zero Dawn. Nature has prevailed.
Nature reclaiming after the apocalypse happens.
Reclaiming
Nature's
after
coming
apocalypse,
back.
yes.
Sure.
But like Last of Us 2 and all those games, there is definitely some like cities and, cars and things from the before times. And what's really cool is that you're a smaller creature, so all those are like bigger than you. Didn't you like that? That was kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, being small is definitely a twist for a game like this. I mean, usually you're human size, of course, but like to be teeny tiny like that is pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're going through like little towns, and it's not like you had to like jump up on tables, and the chairs are bigger than me. So I really loved, even from the very early kind of alpha stages I watched of this game, that concept of like being a little weird creature. Having these different types of combat that you kind of use seamlessly. I think it's really fun because I don't always shoot, but sometimes you have to, and you can do both of them really quickly back and forth. So you're jumping in the air. It does really great slow motion, I think, whether it just be slow motion moments where you're dodging and you're shooting at the same time, or it's like you kill all the characters or NPCs or bad guys, and it does kind of a slow motion kill in the last one. So I love the combat. I like the setup. Like you said, the gameplay has kind of a narrator, which can be a little grinding. I'd say that's one of the only things that I'm kind of maybe tired of now that I've played it for 15 hours or so, is that your character doesn't talk. So, and none of the characters talk English, but they
just do that the whole like
Sims world.
Yeah,
Sims
the
language.
babbling sort of a sound.
Yeah, and then the narrator like explains what's going on. Which didn't you find that a little annoying after a while?
I find it's a really strange choice. I did find it a little bit annoying. Yeah, I'll hold my comments, but yes, I agree with you. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was one of the only things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because in the beginning it makes sense where you're setting up the story, but I just didn't know why it continued for, I think it's going to be the whole game.
The entire game.
Yeah. So other than that, the other couple cool mechanics they have is the whole idea of the game is you're supposed to save this tree of life, which is, going to help basically fix the world because it's kind of messed up. And there's these world eaters, which are basically just big bosses who are eating the roots of the tree. And you've got to do two things. One, kind of work with the different factions in the world and either work together or work against them. And then you have to build up these different mechs, because there's mechs in this game too. And they are like things that can help beat the big monsters in the game. So that's a lot of mechanics, and also there's a lot of crafting, which I generally don't get into, but for some reason in this game I am enjoying. And I will say the only other thing that I really kind of peeved me a bit is that the crafting is a little confusing. Like you have to scrap things, and I'm not really sure on which things to scrap and which things I have resources to make. So I think it's a little confusing to do, but then when I make something, it's very cool because I just made a hammer with like a saw blade on it, and it does like 700 damage, and I'm like super psyched. So I'm having fun with the crafting. I'm having fun with the combat, and I like the setup. So it to me it's like a solid 8 right now. Like it's like a fun game.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like a fun ass game. It's nothing like whatever these negative reviews are. Like some of the negative reviews are like like it is the worst thing you've ever seen. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, I played this game for about an hour. I got to say, it was not to my taste at all. I really didn't like it. And I'll tell you why. I will not give you a blanket statement. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Right.
And I don't think anyone is bad for liking it.
Right.
But I mean, for me, I think there's just like too much going on. It felt like a whole pile of stuff. And I was like a little bit like noping out when I was like, okay, well, there's like a menu for like these abilities over here, and then there's like a crafting menu, and then there's this other thing, and then it just kind of felt like too much stuff going on. And I was kind of like, I wanted it to be a little bit simpler, give me a better intro to the game, kind of let me get used to things. And I gotta say, I really dislike the combat. I think the combat is bad. I think it's really bad. I really dislike it. The gunplay is good. The melee, I was like, this is awful melee.
Well, no, just break that down for a minute, because I mean, obviously, I think the only thing that for me is the camera jumps around a little bit, but I kind of figured it out. So what makes it bad in your mind?
It just did not feel good. The hits didn't feel like they hit. Like the weight of things is weird. I mean, again, I only played it for an hour. Maybe if I customized further, or maybe if I had a different weapon, maybe that would change. But I was just like, oh god, like fighting feels terrible. I just really don't like it. And keep in mind, like, I played. I mean, that's important to me, right? Like, I play all the Souls game. I'm playing Monster Hunter right now. Those are games which are like top of class for like impact for melee and stuff. And I just feel like coming to this was like, this is not good enough for me. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the furries. Everything is furry. Everything's an animal, and it's like kind of saccharine cute to me. Like, I'm not really clicking with the aesthetics of it. Some people really like it. Dan at our site loved it. Like, he was like, he loves it so much. He cried every time he had to kill a monster because they're all so cute, and that's cool. If it's your jam, to me, I just didn't care for it. And overall, I think just the feeling of like the fableness of it, meaning the narrator is like, you are on a quest between good and evil, and there's this really strong choices where, like, at the beginning of the game, you have to pick, are you light side or dark side, and it's literally light or dark, and there's an angel and a devil, and then you go to these two tribes, and it's like, well, these guys want to ruin the earth, and maybe that's okay, but these guys want to save it. Which one do you gonna do? And I'm like, well, is anybody gonna pick the evil side? I mean, probably not. Like, it just felt kind of like, just, I don't know, like, not that I necessarily been there, done that, but like, I just wasn't in. Like, nothing about this game was getting me in. And I do have to say also, I did kind of take, I don't want to say offense, but like, a lot of this game is like this faux kung fu. They call it like wung fu or something like that.
Oh yeah. There's like really cool abilities that come from that though later.
I mean, maybe so, but like, can we not call it that? Like, can we not play on the Orientalism of this whole thing? Like, it just felt like really like a big kind of turn off to me. So, I mean, maybe some people really like it a lot. Dan, I think, played through the whole game. He liked it okay. I don't think he likes it as much as you do. Plenty of people out there like it. That's fine. But for me, I was like, after an hour, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna put no more time into this.
I will say this for our listeners, because you did play an hour of it, right?
Yeah.
Deep into the game, not even deep in the game, probably 5 or 6 hours in, you finally start crafting your own things or finding stuff, and it really makes a difference. I got to tell you, like, combat feels different with different weapons. It just does.
Probably so.
Yeah,
so.
Like your character by default, to your point, is kind of fast and running around, and it feels kind of loosey goosey. So I'll give you that. But I think once you pick the different weapons or different guns, like, it does change. And this game has a lot of surprise that shows up because, like I said, the Ratchet and Clank is probably the closest comparison to this game because weird stuff happens organically. There's a lot of that same stuff that we talked about where emergent gameplay where the enemies attack each other. Yeah. Right? Like, you've probably even seen some of that. Some of the tribes are just fighting, and I was like, I'm not going to get involved. And I just went past them. But then also, like, some of the different weapons you have, like, make your character move differently. And there's, like, finishers and really interesting, just different stuff that comes out of leveling up your character. And also, emergent gameplay, I put this on Twitter, but there was this big, huge guy who was, like, had 1 million hit points. and I just shot like a rocket he was holding onto because I don't know why he was holding onto a rocket, but he was, and it made him like go sailing into the sky and then explode.
I saw that video. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
And I was just like, those kind of moments happen, and I will also say this for it, like the narration and that kind of like hokey dokey, hokey. What am I trying to say? Hunky dory? No.
I don't know. What you're
Hokey
saying.
dokey? No. What am I trying to say?
I don't know, man.
Hokey.
I don't know.
I think just hokey is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Kind of like hokey. Like, are you go with the light side or dark side? I admit that is a little like way too on the nose in the beginning, but it just a lot of the stuff that I think you had issue with in hour one kind of dissolve away. Because what I'm doing now and why I'm excited to play it tonight is there's no narration going on. There's no big choices. I'm just going to go in and grind, and I'm going to go help a faction fight another faction, and then I'm going to go find new resources to get like the better saw blade that I have, you know.
Yeah.
So there's that RPG-ness to it mixed with Ratchet and Clank that makes it, I think, wholly unique. And it is much more like playable for long hours when you realize it's not all just like a lot of the stuff they show you in the beginning. Does that make sense?
I mean, and that's fair. But I think for me, it's like I need to get hooked right away. Like I want to see where this is going. I want to get a sense. I mean, you don't have to like, give me all your secrets in the first 15 minutes. But after an hour of playing, I'm like, I feel like I've seen enough, and I'm not going to put in the time to do the crafting, to do the other systems, to level up. And I mean, like I wasn't already liking it enough to even put in that time, so I wasn't sure that it would be worth my time invested to go further if I already wasn't liking what I was seeing. So
right.
I hear you.
Devil's advocate, that last statement though, just real quick for anybody listening, it doesn't take too long to level up. Like you level pretty quickly in the game too.
Sure.
So that helps. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And also one more last thing about it. It is very on the nose when it comes to saving the planet.
It's a little too much. It feels like it's written for like fourth graders, honestly.
Yeah, like I did have some problem with that where they're like, this evil corporation like poisoned the earth because they didn't use recyclables, and I was like, okay, I get it. Like,
I just don't understand how they expect anybody with a straight face to choose the evil path. Like, it wasn't even like, I mean, again, maybe you've seen more. I mean, you clearly have seen more than I have, so I'm just speaking from the beginning. But like the way they set it up is so black and white, is so good and evil, and it's like, dude, are there gonna be interesting choices? Because I feel like you're either an asshole for choosing this or you're the good guy for choosing this. And I mean, hopefully there's going to be more nuanced things that come up later. But man, like from the get go, I was like, okay, this is goofy.
Yeah,
I'm not in with this.
I think to answer you, I think it's slightly more nuanced later. And
I
also,
hope so.
And I think they set up that like stark contrast in the beginning because, full disclosure, I think that second, that kind of the path you could have taken, that tribe, you're going to have to work with them anyhow, I think. So it's like, it's almost one of those things where it doesn't really matter in the beginning. Which is, again, as you're playing 1 hour of it, you don't know that. So
Sure.
Final statement, though. Ratchet and Clank meets Fable meets an action RPG that you level pretty quickly in, and I don't think it deserves any of the like vitriol hate that it's getting, because if it's not your jam like you, it's fine. It's not your jam. But I just think the negative is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I don't think it is by no means like a quote unquote like terrible game. It's certainly not anywhere near the bottom of the games I've ever seen. Not my jam for sure, but I think it's, if you like those games, if you like Fable, I think you're probably going to find a lot to like here. If you like those third person action RPGs, I think there's a lot to like here. But yeah, not for me.
Okay, I will check back in with you on this as well, because I'm going to finish it.
Cool. Okay, man, we're going to stay with you. Going to keep you working here. Going to earn that podcast dollar tonight.
Ooh, make $1? What?
Got to make one whole dollar, because we're going to be talking about Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition. Now, you were not here last episode when we talked about it. I am not playing it myself. I do love Mass Effect, probably my number 2 favorite series of all time. But I'm not going to play through it now. I don't have the time. I got too much other stuff to do. Plus, I don't know. I'm kind of good at my experience of it. I don't know that I want to play it again. But my wife has never played it ever, and so she's playing it now. She's totally deep into it. She's loving it. I'm loving watching her play it. That's
nice.
That is enough for me, right? But Corey was playing it last episode. He talked a lot about it, and I knew you would probably want to bring it to the show. So now is your chance. The floor is yours, sir. What would you like to say about Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Yeah, I listened to some of the show, and thanks, Corey, for going into detail on some of the things that I also feel like, and I will talk about those in this section right now. But before I get started, Voyagers is a movie that I watched before I played Mass Effect, and I highly recommend it. It's out on like on-demand streaming services.
Voyagers with the three kids who are doing science experiments or whatever. They go to space or something.
No, that's the old school one. This is like also young people in space, but they're in cryo, and then they wake up and they have to like take this huge destination spaceship ride to a new planet to like save humanity or something.
Who's in it? I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's all new actors, and they're all really good, and it's a phenomenal movie. Like I say that I shouldn't say that because it sets your expectations, but it's very, very good. And I love, as you know, as people listeners know, I love pairing media together. So I'll watch a TV show or a movie, and then I'll play a game that has to do with that style. And I recommend it to everybody because it's a great sensation. So I was watching Voyagers and so ready to play Mass Effect Legendary Edition after it because it's a great sci-fi movie. So that's my PSA. People watch it because I think it's very good. And Mass Effect. So full disclosure, I never beat 2 and 3.
What?
Isn't that crazy? And we've never talked about it in the show because it hadn't come up.
How did you get on this podcast then? Because you are not qualified to be on this podcast.
Okay, I'll leave.
What is going on? What is going on?
Do I hand in my headphones? Or?
Leave it at the door. Just hang it up at the door.
Wait, what door? My own door? Do I just leave?
Yes, leave your house.
Leave my house.
Now.
Put the headphones on the door.
How is that even possible, Carlos?
I'm being honest because I can't lie. It's not possible.
This game seems like your jam. You play all these games. You put all this time. How did you not finish these?
So I finished the first one, and I remember loving it, and I'll talk about it in a minute here. But 2 and 3, I think I'd started 2, and I have said this on the show before. I didn't like the combat, or like it was just too much of a different change.
Sure, it's a pretty hard left turn, yeah.
Yeah, and I go, no, as you say, I noped out, even though I loved the world and stuff, and he was a younger, gentler Carlos. I don't know. He didn't know the world, okay? He didn't understand the BioWare's magic.
More innocent, naive Carlos.
Naive Carlos for BioWare. Because, I played all the Dragon Age games, right? Every fucking one of them, DLC and everything. I love them, and I love their side missions. I love BioWare, right? And I played Mass Effect Andromeda, I know, which is controversial.
Man, did you finish that?
I finished it, and it's a great game, and I'll stand by that to the end of time.
Bananas that you no comment on the game, but it is bananas you finished that, but didn't finish 2 and 3. Okay,
right.
This is your redemption song.
This is the whole history, right? Okay.
Yes, this is crazy.
But also, I stopped at 2, and because I'm a very much completist, I knew that I couldn't play 3 when it came out because I hadn't finished 2.
Exactly. Well, that was the right choice.
So it was the right choice. So now's the perfect time to play them all. Okay. So that's what I'm doing, and believe me, I will finish the third one, and I had already finished Andromeda. So the first one I played, and I buzzed through that game. Remember I was on hiatus in the Badlands, so I had time.
So just now you buzzed through it.
Yeah, just now. But it was memorable. I remember a lot of it. They did upgrade it quite a bit when it comes to the graphics. I thought it looked great. At moments, it felt with the lighting like a PS4 Pro game. Really good. You're watching her play the first one, right?
Oh, yeah. It looks great. Looks great.
So compared to the blurriness of the first time I played it, yeah, it was great to go back through it. And I remember, being a little frustrated with the running and the shooting and stuff, but it definitely felt the most like an RPG. And I love that because I was so in the mood for a sci-fi RPG. I just burned through that game, man. And I did almost all the side missions. I did a ton of them and spent, 25 hours or something, a good amount of time. And then I went right to 2, and like Corey said, or one of you guys said, I was just taken aback by how different the combat was.
That is me. He thought, I think he said it was better. I was like, man, this is weird and different. Too different.
Oh, it was you. That's right. So I didn't like that all of a sudden you had ammo. I was like, what do you mean ammo? It's unlimited, right? And they're like, no, you got to go pick it up on the ground. And
yeah, I forget even what the narrative they give an explanation of it too. It's like, oh, these high tech guns need these cooling rods or like whatever. It was like whatever, dude. It's fucking ammo. Get off it.
Yeah, and you can obviously see the Gears of War type thing going on.
The super leaning very hard into Gears of War.
Yeah, you literally have to go into cover to heal, and there's no healing. And that's the other thing that I literally was like, am I stopping this game again? Is history repeating itself, Brad Galloway? Because you can't use a health kit. There's no health
kits in Mass Effect 2?
No.
How do you heal then? Just the biotic powers?
Yeah, no, there's 2 ways to heal. You hide, you go into cover, and it heals you, which I fucking hate. And 2, you can use one of your biotic abilities to bring someone back to life when they like get downed. And that's it.
You don't have Medigel anymore? Because that's
Nope.
a big thing in the first one. No,
Nope.
not anymore?
And I'm guessing they probably got rid of it in 3 then, which is going to suck if that's the case. So that was a fucking, a nightmare for me. I was like, whatever. But they did improve a lot of things too. And of course, the graphics are great and the stories. And like you said on the last episode, the side missions are amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the side missions. Yeah.
And doing that stuff with Jack, she's my favorite character. I love her to death, and all her trauma that she had to go through, and the whole thing is fucking great. The mysterious man, or what is he called, the elusive man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm in like about to get to the final act in 2, and I will do that, and I enjoy it. But yeah, those systems kind of bothered me. And I don't. By the way, I don't know any other in quotes RPG-ish type game where you upgrade things for the whole team. And in Mass Effect 2, it does that, where you just find an upgrade, and then when you have enough resources, you upgrade all of the weapons by 10%.
There are some games that do that, but it is definitely not the norm. That is for
It
sure.
is
It's
not
pretty
the
rare,
norm, and
pretty
it's
rare.
so not BioWare. So 2 just felt, it's feeling weird to me, but I love it, and I'm so like hook, line, and sinker. I need to finish the series now. So yeah, the short answer is I'm having a great time with it. I love the hovercraft. I'd never played with the hovercraft in number 2.
Oh, okay.
And that was like really cool. And I don't know if they upgraded the graphics, but it looks beautiful flying around different planets with that. And like Corey said, it is the most addictive thing ever. I mean,
it's hard to stop playing that. My wife has been
oh,
she's been playing for much longer sessions than she normally does. And I check in on her and she's in, dude. Like she's totally in. I wasn't sure if she was going to click with it because she's not generally an RPG person. She's like an action person. She likes puzzles. She loves 2D stuff. She likes Souls. She likes Monster Hunter just like I do. So we connect on that. But I'm like, okay, this is like pretty story heavy. And I know you're not like a story person, but you liked Witcher. So I think that maybe you like this too. And she gave it a shot. And once she got past like the first 15, 20 minutes, she was like in. She's in all the way now. So.
Wait, she's in 2 now?
She is in. She is no. She's just
in 1,
in as in yeah, still in 1.
Okay.
In as in hook, line, and sinker, like you said. She's committed to it now.
It'd be interesting because it does throw you for a loop, the different systems and the way they kind of change it up. But the core, like wanting to go back and play another mission, and it's interesting. Number 2 also, it really focuses on missions, right?
Yeah,
Where 1 felt more like an open world RPG where you could do a lot of different things.
And stuff, yeah.
This one's like, no, you're going to go do that thing, and they literally have an end mission screen.
Yep.
Which I hate, by the way. I don't like that. I'm like, don't tell me I went up 2 levels and I got these items. I can figure that out myself. It just feels weird. I don't like that about it. One other thing I don't like about it, which is the like you talked about on the last episode, the maze-like maps.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's the past. You don't make levels like that anymore. Like, why am I going down in like S formations, like up and down elevators and ladders? Like, it just feels like I'm totally lost. And unless they told me where to go, I would just be like lost.
We have learned a lot about level design since then. Yes, it's pretty obvious.
But that being said, that and Biomutant are the only things I'm playing right now because I pick either one of them up and it's like hours just go away because, well, you don't like Biomutant. There is this kind of loop that you get into where you just want to keep finding resources.
Sure.
The one in Mass Effect is you just want to keep doing side missions because you want to see what that literally the end story is going to be from what you did. And like you said, the side missions, there's one that's just on a planet where the sun's too bright. So you have to like avoid the sun. And if you get hit by the sun, it like lowers your shields. Like that's a gameplay mechanic that's brand new just for that planet.
Yeah.
And like another one, like, you're in a prison or something. And like, there's just so many different like types of stories they tell that, everybody needs to learn from them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. I am 100% aboard the side missions, the characters, the loyalty missions, the side missions. 100%, dude. The thing that just sticks in my craw about that, like we've covered already, is the combat is leaning too far into Gears of War.
Yep.
They took out too much of the exploration and the RPG stuff. And the overall story is just stupid. The collectors, that whole storyline is just garbage that happens between the side missions. Like that was like I said earlier, the mission to complete the game super awesome. One of the best things ever in any video game ever. The final mission of Mass Effect 2, phenomenal. But the final boss battle is garbage, and the story of the overall game is garbage. It's all about the side missions.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. I heard that on the podcast too. The collectors, it just seems like, hey, you're a Saturday morning cartoon, and who are the bad guys? It's the collectors,
Kind of, yeah.
and they have like
kind
all
of.
long mustaches, and they're like, "Wow, we'll get you, Super Friends." Remember the
Yeah,
Super
exactly.
Friends?
Oh yeah, I do.
Anyways, love it to death. Everybody who's never played Mass Effect, buy this fucking thing because you'll not regret it. Even with all the failings that we just mentioned, it doesn't matter.
No, it's still we're playing 100%. 100%.
Bioware's a master. I can't wait for whatever the next Mass Effect game is, like the true one. I can't wait for the next Dragon Age game, the true one. I'm excited, and I loved Inquisition and I loved Andromeda. Go send me the hate mail, please. I will eat it up and shit it out, actually, because it's incredible. Those
Not
are
on
incredible.
camera, please. Not on camera.
No. I just shit behind closed doors.
Thank you. Yes. Close
That's
that door
my quick review. I agree with a lot of what Corey said. It's addictive. I love it, and just mad about the ammo though. Stupid.
All right. Well, that is a pretty good summation. I'm sure we will check back on Mass Effect.
Yeah, when
we get a
I
little
finish,
further in. For sure. There's going to be a lot to discuss, I'm sure.
Okay.
We may even need to do a little spoiler section on it. We'll see. One more game and then a shout out, and then we are out. For me, I want to just really briefly cover a game called Beautiful Desolation. Comes out in 2 days, so by the time this podcast goes up, the embargo will be down. Perfect timing on my part, if I do say so myself. So it looks like a top-down Diablo or maybe like old school Fallout sort of a thing. But the developers and the publisher are like really going out of their way to say that is not what it is. Please don't expect that when you come to this game. To which I say, thank you for telling me. My expectations were properly set.
Yes,
it is
it's
actually
about expectations. People.
It is. It's really bad expectations, dude. It can really make or break something from the get-go. I agree with you. What it is, despite the way it looks, it is actually a point-and-click adventure game. So it looks very different from the usual kind of adventure games we get. But it is absolutely like, go here, pick up this item combines with this other item, and then this thing goes in this other lock, and then you get a little further, you talk to people. So, I mean, full disclosure, and I think people who listen to this show probably already know, people who read game critics probably already know, I am not the biggest fan of point-and-click games. I like them when they are stripped down and very easy to play. My two favorites are probably Nine Witches or Dark Side Detective. I think those are excellent. Those are exactly my speed. This game is much more of the traditional, like, here's this open, not open world, but like here are several screens that you can walk through and move your cursor around and see what's on the screen and pick up something, and maybe this combines with something else.
Combining
maybe it doesn't.
Objects, yeah.
Look at this object, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of a drag. To its credit, if you push a button, it will tell you everything on screen that you can interact with, which is great.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do pixel hunting. So that's good. Very good. Props for that. But I got to say, it's not very intuitive, or at least to me, as a person who is not an expert in this genre or who doesn't even really like this genre very much. It is not very intuitive. I got stuck a lot. I had to look up FAQs way too often for my taste because I just could not figure out where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do. I mean, it was really frustrating. So from a gameplay perspective, it wasn't working for me. But I will say, visual design is awesome. It's kind of like a weird techno post-apocalypse, but also mixed with current day, like lots of robots, lots of metal, alien stuff happening. It reminds me a lot of the movie District 9, if you ever seen that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Where it's like aliens come to Earth and then they're kind of bringing their technology, but there's a lot of Earth stuff still here, and it's this weird clash of like cultures. So it looks like that, and it's also ironic because just like District 9, this game, and I don't know if it's inspired by District 9, it could be, is also set in South Africa. So that's not a setting that we get very often. The people talking in this game are absolutely South Africans. They talk like that. They got the accent. I cannot do it now. I will not do it for you. But if you know what South African people talk like, the white ones anyway, that's what they sound like. And so that's what these people sound like. So there's a lilt to it that we don't often get in the voice acting, which is interesting. The dialogue is interesting. I love the way it looks, man. I kind of wish it was like a different kind of game because I would be super into it. But I just kept bashing my head against the game and I couldn't figure out what to do. So if you're an adventure gamer, And if you like these point and click games, I definitely recommend it. I think it's really unique looking, interesting. South Africa is a great setting that we don't often see. But if you don't like those games, definitely stay away because it is a classic one of those, despite what it looks like.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I looked at it on GOG.com right now, and it totally looks like old school Fallout 1 and
it
2.
does, and it is not
And
that
it's
at
not
all.
that. And
Yeah,
then I saw like next to the category puzzles, and I was like, step back, Carlos, step back.
yeah.
By the way, fun tangent. I just did another sketch because, I'm always promoting my comedy
You're always
sketches.
doing sketches.
And I just did one on puzzles, and I think you would like it. Did you see it yet, or you didn't see it?
I don't think I've seen it yet.
I'll
No.
send it to you. But yeah, for me, and puzzles like show up in games, and especially like RPGs all the time. And I'm like, I just want to get the thing. I don't want to align the orbs with the torches.
Yeah.
I
Well,
I don't know about you, but I can't stomach another puzzle right now.
it is amazing that you said that, dude, because your intuitive segues tonight, except for that one, are
Nice,
all really good, man. You just fucking
nice.
killed it right there because I'm right with you, brother. I want to just get the thing. I don't really want to do the puzzle. I don't really want to go to all the trouble of doing that thing when usually it's just like this simple thing. And the
Yeah.
reason I bring this up is because against all logic, against all odds, I am currently playing Resident Evil 7 Biohazard right now. The game that I thought I
Oh
was too scared
boy.
to play, I decided to jump in and play it. And that is a perfect summation of my experience with the game so far. Before I say that, Carlos, have you played 7?
Yeah, yeah. And we talked about it a little bit on the show. I found it creepy, but kind of unnecessarily creepy. And I don't know. I don't think I'm a Resident Evil fan anymore, unfortunately. But you lose your hand, but then your hand comes back. I remember all the kind of like frustrations I had with it, but
Yeah.
they're really difficult. I felt like early difficult bosses and stuff. But anyways, but there's a lot of horse puzzles or horse keys or
See, and that's the thing,
horse
right? And that's the
doors.
thing. I would have I would have said I am no longer a Resident Evil fan because I don't like that kind of stuff, right? But then I got the FOMO. I fell into Resident Evil Village, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually pretty cool and fun. I had a pretty great time with Village, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is fun. I would like some more of this. Maybe I should go back and play Resident Evil 7 because I want to see where the story started. I want to see more from Ethan Winters, although he is a Bitcoin investor. I do want to see what happened to him in the game before this, and I was really curious.
Hmm.
Strong story ties between 7 and 8, like they are directly connected in many ways, which I will not spoil right here. So I jumped into it, and as I'm playing it, I'm like, fuck. Okay, this is just like old school Resident Evil, where you're just like in a big house with a million locked doors,
Yep.
and the fucking item limits are driving me insane, dude. I am constantly running back to my goddamn item box to drop some shit off because my hands are too full and I can't pick up the thing that I need, and I got run back, and then it's like I'm constantly looking at my map and like which door am I going to, and it's this door, and I'm like, oh man, like this is okay, this is why I dropped out of Resident Evil because I don't think I like this gameplay very much, man.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
really don't.
And I think Village, like you were saying, also like Village has a lot more action to it, and it just feels like it's a streamlined process. I feel like more
Yeah.
than like a 7, which is again more like finding the keys to doing the thing. And there's like a lamp you put it, and you have to look at the shade
Oh my
of the
god.
lamp. And I
Yes.
was like, I don't want to do a
Yes.
silhouette of a lamp. I'm trying to get out of here. There's zombies.
Yeah. I mean, 100%, dude. Like, I just, I got into the game. It was scary at first, but then the irritation destroyed the scariness, right? Like, I was
Right.
so like, oh fuck, I got to go back to the item box again. God damn it. Run back there, and then it's like, oh, here's a here's a thing where you got to put a lamp. Where's the lamp? And then it's
The
like a puzzle to
lamp.
get the lamp, and then so like you're doing all this nonsense stuff, and they even make a joke about it, right? Like, there's an item you can get in Resident Evil 7. It's a receipt from a renovator, and it's like, oh, we're charging you for the shadow block moving wall puzzle that we just installed for
Oh,
you at
that's funny.
$7,000. It's really funny, right? They're making a comment about it because they know how goofy it is, right?
Yeah.
So that was funny, but making a joke about it doesn't negate the fact that I'm still doing it. And I'm not like in love with like the back and forth, and I get this key and go back to the other place and backtrack over here, and oh, my hands are full, and I go back to the box. It's just like not cool and fun, and I'm just not like enjoying it very much, which is weird because I had a great time with 8, and it just shows how different those games are. The pacing's different, the level of puzzles is different, the focus in each area is super different. I mean, I know people like 7 a lot, and I've heard a lot of people say they like 7 better than 8. For me, I think it's way flipped. I think 8 is a way more engaging, way more fun game than 7 is. I'm not shit talking it. I will finish it. I'm still going through it, but like I roll my eyes sometimes when I'm like, oh, okay, what is this key shaped like? Oh, it's a scorpion. Okay, cool. Wait. Oh, wait, is this not fit the bird lock? Okay, wait, where's
The
the bird code?
bird lock,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
my sketch has this characters they're trying to find a chest, or they found a chest, and there's like these orbs, and there's also like bird statues. And the guy's like, "Oh no, it's got bird statues." And the guy's like, "Why? Is that a problem?" And he's like, "Oh, and it's got torches. Forget it. I'm out of here. This thing, it's got orbs and torches and bird statues." And the guy's like, "But I could figure it out." And he tries to figure it out. Yeah, I'm with you, man. And by the way, friend of the show, Steve Haskey, I feel like he's always like floating around when we talk about Resident Evil, in my head at least. And he likes 7 better than 8 because, again, a certain subset of people like the old school.
Yeah,
almost
if you
like 4,
that old school
you know?
style.
Yeah.
If you like that style. I mean, 7's great if you like the backtracking, the weird keys, the puzzles. That's totally what it is. And if you like that, awesome. But that's also why I kind of fell off the series as well. So
Yeah.
8 brought me back, and then when I went further back, I'm like, no. I'm not back for this. I'm back for 8, but I'm not back for 7.
It's like a different audience, you know, and I think that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Before we leave the GOG thing, though, because you mentioned that, or I mentioned it, I went to the site just now, and I'm still a little confused on what they do because they're part of CD Projekt Red, right? Like
they are. They're owned by CD Projekt Red.
They made it, okay. But back in the day, I remember going to GOG for like all the old school games I couldn't find anywhere.
Yeah.
And they still have those. But then they have new games too. So what? Like, I'm fucking confused on how that system works, where CD Projekt Red works with third parties, publishers and developers to sell their games, kind of like Epic Game Store or Steam. But why? But why?
I think they're just making money. It's just an alternative to Steam. If you don't want to do Steam, if you don't want to do Epic, they're just another store, another piece of that pie that they want to get for the market. I mean,
it's interesting because like I'm just fascinated by how they do those deals, right? And like which ones do they get? I'm sure they, Steam has exclusives, right?
Oh yeah, and Epic too.
And so I just didn't know that they were really so. I haven't been back to the site for a while. So focused on Dying Light's on the homepage and like Biomutant. They're selling Biomutant. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm very confused by
It's not just good old games, it's good new games too.
I know. Then you should change the name. By the way, real quick last thing about GOG, who all of a sudden is part of this show. Heroes of Might and Magic is one of my favorite games of all time. Have we talked about this on the show?
We have a couple times, yes.
Okay. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is probably the best one. They have it for like $1.99 right now. So if you like turn-based strategy games with fantasy element, do yourself a favor, go back in the history books, do yourself some research, like learn where it's all
learn
came
where we
from.
came from.
Yeah,
yes.
I can't speak. And go get Heroes 3 complete. $1.99, motherfuckers.
$1. That's like cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Yes, it's cheaper than my Starbucks mocha. Heroes 3 complete. Go get it. You will not be I can't say words. Mistaken.
Disappointed.
Or mistaken.
You might be mistaken, but you will not be disappointed.
You won't be mistaken. No.
If you thought you were buying Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and you got 3, you would be mistaken.
Right.
But you wouldn't
in
be
that very
disappointed.
specific.
Yes, in that specific circumstance.
I haven't podcasted in a while. Have I mentioned that? Okay, we're done.
You're back from the Badlands. Lucky for you, this show is over, so you can rest and recuperate. Really quick before we go, shout out to John Cheatham and Adderblack39 for giving us retweets of the last show. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Every retweet helps. Every bit counts. We love people supporting us, the listeners supporting us. Thank you very much, both of you, for your retweets.
Thank you.
And that is it for this show. As usual, but before we go, want to get your questions, want to get your comments, hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. We are on Twitter @sovideogames, but we are also available individually. Carlos, now that you are back from your black site in the Badlands, where can people find you?
Always youtube.com/a lot of things, but also go over to TikTok because that's where everybody sees my sketches now. They just don't. People aren't checking me out on YouTube because it's hard. YouTube is a crazy pile of gazillion videos, I think is the number now.
Maybe
so
it's 2 gazillion at this point.
Just TikTok, and when you're on TikTok, just search Video Game Sketch, all one word. Video Game Sketch. That's where my new shit is. People are finding it there. I just put up one about the puzzles. It's up right now. And also, before I go, I know it's at the very end of the show, but that snowboarding game that I mentioned is called Carve Snowboarding, and it's coming out on the Quest. So check out Carve Snowboarding from Chuhai Labs. If you're here at the end, by the way, congratulations. You made it.
Thank you very much for
Thank
putting
you
up with
so
all our
much.
bullshit this whole
Yeah,
time.
I
Yes,
can't even believe
appreciate
this.
it.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yeah, you're
Anyways.
tough. Thank you for being tough.
You're tough.
And getting through all this.
Yeah.
All right, what are we talking about? We're talking about social media. As for me, the usual BRADGALLAWAY, all A's, no O's, on Twitter, on Instagram. And that is going to do it for episode 234. Thank you again for joining us, you tough people, on the So Video Games podcast. And we will see you next Friday. In the meantime, this is Bye from Brad.
And bye from Carlos. By the way, did Corey ever do that? Is that what you guys did?
He did.
He just said bye and you said bye and that was it. Then he wrapped.
Yeah.
So what I just did is the actual ending of the show for the first time.